I got to 18 people in the live, so I've got to figure out how to share a link real quick. Yes. People there, ready. Okay, I just sent that to you. Welcome on into the Utah pregame live stream show for the Utah Blockcast. I'm Steve Bartle. This is Josh Bennett back behind me. He's mingling and stuff. This freaking guy. Cincinnati-Utah, set to kick off in about 77 minutes. Looking forward to this one. Bennett, real quick, man. Again, about 77 minutes, like I just said a second ago. What are your thoughts? Pre-game thoughts?
Utah's got two more of these at home. And I hope that the guys want to come to the ground having fun. The fans are ready to come in and have some fun. And that's what it's all about, and getting that in. No participation trophies, got to get but have some fun. This is an opportunity. College Game Day came into town, ESPN, took it to town, and we're here. And size matters of football, right? Let's have some fun. We have so many of these. It's an opportunity for you to show out and garner some respect.
No, this is a big game, right? ESPN College Game Day was here. Fantastic setting, fantastic atmosphere at College Game Day. Utah fans showed up and showed out. It looked like everybody was having a great time. Alex Smith with an incredible monologue, making his pick for Utah. Just a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun with it. Shout out to New Heights Podcast. Get us on the podcast soon. Real quick, Travis, Jason, big time fans. No, this is a big game. Obviously, we've watched Big 12 football all day long. Been a lot of good action. Arizona State, Iowa State getting the win there in Ames. West Virginia upset Houston was a big game, a big moment in Big 12 conference play as well. Texas Tech taking care of business against Kansas State. That's all of that sets the stage for Utah here against Cincinnati. Big opportunity for Utah, obviously, with what's coming up over the next month. Obviously, the next 3 games are going to be huge for Utah, but we got to take care of business tonight. And this is what everybody has talked about. Got to get this win against Cincinnati.
Absolutely. And we've talked about it. When's Utah going to get the big win? Is this a big win? Yes, this is a big win. Everybody's hungry. It's ready for the night like tonight. It's a perfect opportunity. People watch college football is played around the country today. My mindset is very much next Sunday or next Saturday night when the game is over, we can take a look at what does the Arlington picture look like. We don't get there. Utah does not get there without a win tonight. And this is an opportunity for Utah to come out. Utah's either lost or won by a lot. We'll see what happens tonight. And it's a just win situation, but yeah.
No, that's really what it is. Utah's either lost or they've won by a lot. And I think tonight very well could be a lot of the same, right? With how Utah has performed. Cincinnati, though, is playing really good football. And it starts with Brendan Sorsby, and he's a quarterback that has really elevated his game and become sort of the ultimate playmaker for the Bearcats, right? He's not just doing it through the air and making good decisions. He's running the ball. He's ran for over 400 yards, ran for 7 touchdowns. And that, to me, adding that to what he's done now as a passer. This is going to be maybe the toughest test at quarterback that Utah's faced this season.
Would you say this is the best offense Utah's played this season?
Man, that's tough because Texas Tech, obviously, I don't know that it's the best offense. And BYU, obviously, they've got some playmakers and that make it balanced, make it tough. But I think Brendan Sorsby is arguably just single-handedly the best quarterback that Utah's faced, right? And so Texas Tech, great all-around team, great all-around offense. And I think Brendan Sorsby, with the way that he's playing ball this season, again, 20-1 touchdown to interception ratio, 7 more tutties on the ground. He's doing it all.
Would you rather play against Aaron Morgan or Brandon Sorsby?
Aaron Morgan. Yeah, and that's no offense to Aaron Morgan.
No.
But Sorsby is just, again, when you have that sort of dual threat ability, it's just another thing that you have to be mindful of as a defense and as a defensive coordinator. It's tough. And Sorsby, again, to his credit, has really elevated his game this year. So he's become that quarterback for Cincinnati.
Absolutely. And I love to expose myself. I had Cincinnati not doing great. We'll leave it at that. Not doing great. And Big 12 conference playing. Here they're not Cincinnati, like the Utah brand is something, but without Cincinnati playing the game that they have been this season, there's not the intention on a game like tonight. This is a game that, with a 2.5 and a 1.5-year-old, I'm looking at it as a game that I could very much I'll stay home for this one.
Yeah.
No, this is circulating calendar, and your wife very much understands. The family very much understands. This is a big game in November. It's a great opportunity for Utah to put some doubts to rest.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing, right? We've seen this team now against 2 really tough opponents in Texas Tech and BYU, and Utah played them tight, right? Texas Tech going to 52 minutes in the game before Texas Tech broke that one open. With the BYU game, obviously a couple of bad decisions late in that game sort of set that one to what it was, but still that was a tight game for the majority of the night. And for Utah, Cincinnati coming into this one, playing great football, 5-0 in Big 12 play, 7-1 on the season. This is the game that you have to get for so many different reasons. Obviously, with the Big 12 title race, you need this one or else nothing else matters the rest of the season. But you need this one to validate what you've done so far against everybody else on your schedule, right? Everybody's looking for the big win, and this is that opportunity for them all.
100%. That's been a very common theme amongst Utah fans is, hey, when is Utah going to win the big game? This has to be that big game. This has to be that opportunity. Without a win tonight, everything after doesn't matter. You're very much in a spot where there's a protected hand, there's opportunity to get right into the mix of things, and we'll see what happens tonight. But this is a great test for Utah. It's a great test for the Utah defense to see this offense, to see Brennan Scoresby as they have them. If Utah can have a result like they had last week, there's a lot of business to be told.
Sure, absolutely. So let me ask you this, Bennett, in terms of one-on-one matchups in the game, obviously there's a lot that goes into a game that determines a matchup. But let me ask you this, with Utah and Cincinnati, where's a matchup defensively for Utah, offensively for Cincinnati, where you feel Utah needs to take advantage of?
Yeah, Sorsby is creative. He is able. He is diverse. He is able to make things happen when there's nothing there. And that is going to be up to the Utah linebackers is who I'm going to look at. I'm going to be looking at John Hall. I'm going to be looking at Landon Martin to really hold things down. When our corners drop into that man coverage and the safeties, they help out with some of that the back end. It's really going to come down to, are the linebackers able to contain? Are the defensive ends able to not suck in too much? Can they keep that contained? If Utah can contain Sorsby, it's going to be a really hard time for Cincinnati to get what they want to go.
So along those same lines, for me, I'm looking at Logan Fano against DeAndre Buford, right tackle for Cincinnati. As a matchup, that Utah absolutely has to win tonight. And it's not just going to be Logan Fano, but he's obviously the right end that is going to be matched up with him for most of the night. But we'll see, we'll see Lance Holzball. We'll see Cash Dillon matched up at that spot as well. But I think going at DeAndre Buford, who's given up 15 pressures on the season, which is the most Cincinnati has given up by more than double. I think the next closest is an interior offensive lineman that's given up 6. So you've got a tackle that's giving up a lot of pressures, and I think that's an area of weakness that Utah has to exploit. You've got to get pressure on Sorsby quick, and you've got to capitalize on those opportunities. And with the way that Logan Fano has played the last couple of weeks, you got to feel like this is a matchup that he can take advantage of. Again, 9 pressures last week with the sack. He had a handful more the previous week as well. So he's kind of coming into a groove, finding his groove, coming into a rhythm and all that. So that's a matchup that I look as Utah's got to take advantage there. So getting after Cincinnati's right tackle, let's flip it over to the other side. Where's a matchup that you're focused on with Utah on offense and Cincinnati on defense?
Yeah, I think that Utah should be able to play its game offensively. And when I say that, I mean a nice balanced attack. Cincinnati is not great at stopping the run. They're not great at stopping the pass, but they do enough to have them in the top 25% of points scored per game. They are, as you put it before, they are a bend don't break defense, and it's going to come down to can Utah continue to be effective in the red zone, and can Utah just overall play its game? Utah wants to run the ball every single week. That's that's the bread and butter. And if Utah can get that, then Utah's having a lot of fun. But there are going to be moments against a team like Cincinnati who they're not Texas Tech, but they could be enough to be able to replicate something that Texas Tech is not. So in those moments, can QB1 step up, stand in the pocket strong, and make some of those throws? Can the wide receiver step up to make some of that kind of? That's what I'm going to be interested in. If Utah can score, that's going to be the difference between Utah scoring 20, and I hate to say this, but Utah scoring 40, right? Anywhere in between is fine, but that's the difference. Can QB1 move the ball with his arm?
I think that is going to be an important element. And I think for Utah coming into this game, Cincinnati, their strength is that linebacking core. Jake Golday leads that room. He's fantastic. He's a lot like Devin Lloyd, where he can do a little bit of everything. 6'4", 240 pounds, great size, great athleticism. How Utah is able to, I don't want to say attack him because that's not the right word, but capitalize on opportunities against Golday, whether it be through the air, whether it be on the run. I think that's going to be a really important element, right? Going at their best player, how many times can you capitalize against a player like that could really impact and influence how this game is played out? Because I do agree. I think Utah's got to find production through the air. Utah's quarterback, Devin Dampier, he's got to create production. He's got to get Ryan Davis. He's got to get J.J. Buchanan, Larry Simmons, all of these guys involved. And I think if you could do that with Golday in coverage and other guys, I think that would be really, really big for Utah. So how often can you capitalize on those opportunities against a linebacker like Jake Golday? I think is going to be a really determining factor for Utah tonight.
Yeah, no, this is, keep it nice and sweet and simple. This is the kind of defensive matchup that Utah needs to be able to say, okay, this is what we got.
Yeah.
This is where we're at heading into the home stretch, heading into the bye week. This is a defense that's not great, but there are no pushovers by any means, and they've won a lot of football games, and it's because yeah.
No, I totally forgot. We got a chat going live. So our pregame show. We've got comments. I'm not going to post them now because I feel like I'm a little late to them. But shout out to Spencer Reyes. Shout out to Larry. Shout out to Nate. The guy who likes Utes. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Makes it a lot of fun. This is the first time. So this is sort of an epiphany type of an idea that Bennett threw out. And we were like, all right, Let's see if we can run with it, and we're excited to keep it going. So appreciate everybody that's tuned in. We'll kind of figure out some more details as we go along. But this was a first good run through. I appreciate everybody again for tuning in. We'll sign off. We've got about 60 minutes to kick off. 63 minutes. What you got?
Final score one more time.
Final score. I'm gonna go 31-20. I'm gonna be respectful. 31-20.
I'm gonna go 41-28. I'm being respectful.
28.
So
Respectful. Respectful. Respectful.
All right. Hey, we appreciate you.
Yes, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.